Hi Virgo, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love reading. This is going to cover the time period between mid-May, around May 11th to the end of June, to cover the Venus retrograde time period. Okay, remember these messages are general. You don't want to try to make them fit if they don't. Learning a little Palo Santo to get us started here. We're going to pull a Love Oracle first for a crowning message. Okay, then we're going to pull a line for past, present, outcome, then a separate deck we're going to pull for future, and then we'll do a straight love oracle, because sometimes we get a couple of different messages, right? Too many of you to hit everybody. The crowning message here is don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it's only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Okay, don't make decisions based on guilt. Interesting. Alrighty, so let's get right into this. Because remember, don't try to make the messages fit if they don't. You really want to check your rising sun, moon, sun, and Venus. I am going to put, I'm going to link in the description box the videos I did on Venus retrograde, as well as the change in nodal energies that we're going to be experiencing. We just moved from Cancer, Capricorn to Sagittarius, Gemini. And I did a general read in the beginning, but then I broke it down into each individual sign and how it's going to be impacting each of you separately. And it's all time stamped in the description box of each video. So you don't need to watch the whole video, but it's good to get a sense of where these things are going to be hitting you guys personally in your own signs. And your rising sun is the most important when you're checking for those. Then sun, then moon. Okay, let's see. So we have the devil in the past, the high priestess, the fool, death reverse, and the wands. What's going on in the past, Virgo? Okay, let's see. And when I say past, it's very subjective, right? I mean, for some of you, the past is going to be last week, last month. Some of you, it's going to be last year, 3 years ago. Energy doesn't understand the difference. Time is a man-made thing. I don't want to get too ethereal on that point, but you know if somebody's still in your energy field or not, and that's what we're talking about here. So we have in the past, whatever past is to you, as I just said, the devil energy, which indicates imbalance. So for some of you, you might have been dealing with somebody, or you, who was working through some sort of addiction, having to do with substance, alcohol, drugs, sex, food, gambling. This could be also, though, it doesn't have to be any of those things. It could be an addiction to fear of intimacy, fear of abandonment, egotism, anything where there's imbalance. This could even be working too much. Any area where there's imbalance that's impacting the relationship, because that's really what this is about. Now, the devil does also indicate lust, materialism, okay? So any of those ideas I see, and it's in the upright. So it was very, very much a player in this connection. And then we have the high priestess energy, which is the moon. So this is connected to the moon, and the moon is I feel. So this tells me that you were in a space of taking a moment to yourself, really keeping your ideas to yourself as well. The high priestess energy, the advice here anyway, is that you're doing a lot of deep thinking and unknotting of things. And the advice always when this comes up is to really not talk to anybody about what it is that's on your mind, right? But this does indicate you taking some time in solitude. Now, if you've been in a relationship, this could indicate that you and your partner within the relationship are sort of in your own corners, so to speak, you know what I mean? Where like you're together, but you're in a weird space. This could also indicate you recognizing that you need to take some time to yourself, that you need to do you for a while to get in touch with what it is that you really need. Because the high priestess really should be it is our higher consciousness, but the card means the process of trying to get in touch with that. And how do we get in touch with a higher consciousness? But by going deep inside of us. And a lot of times those things are not totally clear to us. So I'm getting here that there was some sort of imbalance that you were really trying to process it in your life. Then we have the Fool energy. Now the Fool is Uranus, and Uranus is all about shaking things up and doing things differently, being really willing to venture onto a new path. There is a very positive connotation to this energy, where even though it's uncharted territory, there's a very positive spin to it, where you're trying something new with a super positive mindset, bringing yourself really good energy. I love the Fool card. In my opinion, this should be past the World card in the tarot. So I feel like the energy of all the cards is in this one because, you know, who's the strongest and the bravest, but the one who's willing to be scared and do it anyway, right? And that really is the Fool energy, being willing to just venture out and try something different. And we have the Death reverse, which indicates the Scorpio energy ruled by Pluto. So this indicates the ending of a cycle and there not being a new one. This is something that you know cannot be revisited in any kind of real way, right? It's the end of something. And in the reverse, it does indicate there's no going back to it, because when we have a Pluto energy, it's a simultaneous ending and beginning quite often, right? Where something ends and then something new begins. Now, we always want to look at the surrounding cards to get a sense of, is this the ending of a cycle within one relationship to be birthed into a fresh new cycle where there are epiphanies and there's, you know, compromise and all of that. But the surrounding cards do not indicate this, because we have the Fool, which is you moving forward in a new direction, and the Ten of Wands, which is also the end of a cycle as well. And, you know, whenever we have the Wands, it's, you know, it's will, it's passion, it's, you know, a very yang energy, right? It's a very stereotypical male, patriarchal energy, right? So when you have 10 of them, it's heavy, it's challenging, right? And that's really kind of what we're dealing with here. It is a Saturn in Sagittarius. So Saturn in Sagittarius, that's like Saturn and hanging out with Jupiter, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And they don't really like hanging out with each other, because Jupiter really wants to move forward and move forward with integrity and have success, and let's just go and do. And Saturn is like, no, Saturn's all about restriction, you know, paying off the karma, has to do with the past, right? So you have these two energies where it's like clashing energies that ended up ending the cycle. It all became too heavy. Now, for those of you who were in a relationship that's been a long relationship, let's just say established, right? Whatever that means, but you'll know if you're in an established relationship. This could certainly mean as well, the Ten of Wands, that the two of you have just been too caught up, busy, whatever, preoccupied in everything but your relationship. And this would be a sign that it's time to turn that around. Okay? It's time to turn that around. And I do want to just, you know, from a very one very clear reading I'm getting here is that there was imbalance in this relationship, and that you really tried to get in touch with what you needed. You realized it was not serving you, so you decided to move away from it in your past, and recognizing that it really was not the right thing, and that it was time to move on because it all became too heavy and didn't feel right. It wasn't feeling, the integrity was not in this relationship, right? It was too much of a challenge for you to hang out in there. So that's definitely going to resonate with some of you. Others of you, that the imbalance could just be there being a situation where there was a lot of heavy egotism, imbalance, something as I mentioned, and it put you in a deep state of thinking. And for many of you, you realize that in order for this relationship to be saved, you needed to start doing things different with your partner, because it's illogical to say that every single Virgo out there would be ending a relationship, but there is certainly the ending of a cycle. But I get that the only people who would be working it out would be people who are in very long-standing, firm, otherwise firm relationships, because there is definitely an ending here, and that ending can't go back. Either a brand new slate is had or to work with, or, you know, this is not going to be saved, right, as far as the past. Now, right now we do, listen, I mean, this is lining up for like a moving on. I have to say what I'm getting. Three of Wands, one of my favorite minor arcanas. This is beautiful. It's a sun in Aries. I'm going to tell you why I like this card. Who doesn't love a wand card anyway in the upright, right? It's passion, it's motivation, it's moving forward. There's progression here. It's good, right? Because there's growth and all of that, which is fabulous. And we have the three, which is associated with the Trinity. This particular energy is about moving forward into a new path. All that's fabulous. But what I really like about this is that you're being called forward in your life onto a path, but by other energies that are surrounding you, that value you, that see your worth. And I think that is the most beautiful part of this energy. Like the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands is all about being appreciated for the amazingness that you are, right? Where if you haven't been receiving that energy from an external source, not to say that you need that to feel of value, but it is nice to get that, you know, when we're involved in a relationship. But this is definitely a new path coming up for you, beautiful Aries, right? Aries is all about fresh perspective, moving forward. 10 of Cups, lovely. Oh, Virgo, this is wonderful. This really is nice, okay? 10 of Cups, you have this 10 of Cups energy that's available to you here. I really like it. Mars and Pisces. And I'm saying available to you again because Mars rules Aries, and Aries is about having a fresh perspective, a new path right in front of you. Pisces is about speaking to your deepest truth and what it is that you really want for yourself. 10 of Cups is a lovely energy. Now, for some of you, this could certainly be the reconnection of a past relationship. This is one of the reconnection cards, but it doesn't have to be. Whatever it is, though, whatever the connection is, and there will be a connection here. We're only going to address love and not career and the other ones. Those I'll do in my next video, my general. But this is a deepening of communication, a deepening of commitment. It's a deepening. Finding a real, just elevating and deepening at the same time, if that makes sense, of a connection. Now, very interesting here. By the way, in these readings, we always want to pay extra attention to the center line. So the center line is is the center. Like we could just take these 3 cards here and just do a basic 3-card spread. And I'm going to circle back around and do that for you as well. So we have the Four of Swords here, which is a moving on energy. And I do, I've been called, I don't know why, but in this round of readings to really explain what the Four of Swords means. You know, in the standard Rider-Waite, you would typically see a guy lying on top of a coffin with 3 swords below him and 1 sword above. And what that is it's a soldier who just came back from war. And he's lying on top of a coffin that he had made for himself, for his family, in case he were to die in war. He didn't want his family to have to contend with that. So this is an energy of somebody who actually cares and is very considerate about the people who this person considers family in their life. Whether that is your actual family or, brothers and sisters from other mothers and misters kind of thing, But so that's one element that I do like to recognize. But also, he's lying on top of the coffin, so grateful when he comes back, still standing, making it through, recognizing what he's been through. And he's laying down and he's taking a minute to think about the past and everything that he's been through. And he's taking a minute to realize what his next steps need to be because he knows he needs to move ahead. But he doesn't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater and in a way. So he's lying here trying to think about the truths that he needs to take with him, on his path. So this is definitely a moving ahead card, right? And then we have the Six of Coins. So this does indicate to me that within this connection, money may have been an issue, or at least mental, physical, and emotional connection. You did not feel mutually supported by this person. You didn't feel like if you needed money, they'd help you out. Or they may have always had a handout, for help. So there could have been some sort of trust issues having to do with money. But, in the basic sense, when it comes to relationship readings, what the coin energy is mental, physical, and emotional connection. So that really can encompass money, but it also encompasses communication, social life, intimacy, just kind of being on the same vibe, right? And that's in reverse. So you feeling kind of in this space with this person. So it might be somebody that you might have even, thought about going back to, who's still in your energy field, but this is a real issue. And then we have the Eight of Swords energy. So it's pretty self-evident, particularly from this card, what this card means, right? You kind of wrapped in this self-imprisonment, but it's very specifically, I like to mention the astrology here because this is a Jupiter and Gemini energy. So where you see the swords, that's Gemini, obviously, right? Because Gemini is an air sign ruled by Mercury. That's where the communication comes in, the truth, right? But obviously you're having this conversation with yourself regarding something that's externally happening to you. But you're trying to tap into the Jupiter energy. Now, Jupiter is all about luck and expansion. It rules Sagittarius, which is about moving forward with integrity. So, in short, you're having this conversation trying to figure out, how am I going to move forward to bring myself the greatest success that I really want in my life? How am I going to bring myself into a space where I feel really comfortable to open up you know, to this energy and have everything that I need. So we always want to talk about the cards as, you know, a direct message or an influence. So I do feel like you're on this new path. You're very ready and open for love. This does for many indicate that somebody is returning from your past, or some sort of energy that's in your world right now. It's going to be deepening. But you're moving away from anything that's negative in your life, anything that's not supportive, and you're getting in touch with what it is that you really need. So this energy may be in your sphere right now, but you're not full blown in it. Like right now, you're just really lining up exactly what it is that you know you want, need, and desire in order for you, Virgo. It's a very subjective thing, right? What you need to have a really solid relationship. Really nice. I mean, I like it. This could be a frustrating energy, but it's necessary sometimes, you know? So let's look at the outcome. 5 of Coins in the reverse. So mentally, you're going to be feeling in a space of lack. Like your voice isn't being heard, and you're not, you're going to feel for a minute like you just don't matter. Now, some of you, this can quite literally be that there's a very serious money situation happening within this connection as well. I'm going to say that because we're at a 20% employment rate right now in our country, and over 30 million people are unemployed. So I'd be remiss if I didn't at least mention that, right? But you're feeling, the thing is with the 5 of Coins that you have to understand, it really is more mental than anything else, though. It's where there is more support than you actually realize or can see in the moment. And then we have the 3 of Coins energy, which is, I love this card too. It's probably my third favorite card as far as the minor arcanas go. I love the 3s because the Trinity. Who doesn't love the Trinity hanging out in there? We have Mars and Capricorn here. So this is about putting in the hard work and building something. That's why I call this the architect card. You know, what does that mean? What does an architect do? They draw the blueprints and give it to the contractors so they can build. So I love this, having the 3 of Wands here and then the 3 of Coins, because I get that there's this moving on for you, Virgo, moving on. And you know, definitely check out for you guys what's going to be happening with this nodal shift, because for you guys it's going to be all about your career. You're going to be made to sacrifice something on the home front, but there's going to be something very benefic in your work area, like really nice. So definitely check that out. Just fast forward. I have it all time stamped, even if you just listen to that little part, because I do see a lot of changes happening for you. Then we have the 9 of Cups. So there's some sort of realization in the outcome here that somebody is not your wish fulfillment, that some relationship is simply not your wish fulfillment. You're realizing this. We have Justice here. You're very tuned into what's fair and what's not. Justice is also a Libra energy, which rules the 7th house of relationships, and it's connected to Venus, and that's a big energy, because Venus is not only about love. Venus is also about money and also about your sense of self-worth. It's what you love, right? So fairness in this area. Are you being treated fair and feeling really good about the version of yourself in this relationship? Do you like who you are in this relationship? Do you feel like money is, there's equitable distribution, right, between the two of you as far as who's bringing what to the table as far as resources, the best to a person's ability, right? I mean, if one person makes $500,000 and the other person makes $60,000, there's always that general, everyone should just be bringing 30% of whatever it is, right, to the table. So obviously it's going to be different for everyone, but you kind of being in that mindset, right? So what's fair, what's not? And then we have the Lover's energy. I like this because this is about making a choice in love. And what I like about the Lover's energy, it's very realistic, because not in this card, but in most of the cards you would see like clouds between the two of them. So that means conflict and issues that you need to work through. It's an understanding that, yeah, we have stuff. There's stuff. Everybody has stuff. But we're committed to this or not committed to this to work it out. It's the making the decision once and for all, what's going to happen in this relationship. So let's just look at a couple of bookended energies here. You're needing to make a decision, but you feel like you're very unsupported in this connection. You do. You feel like you're unsupported. Okay, here you're moving forward. We have the Three of Wands with you moving forward here in the current situation, but at the same time you're trying to figure out with the Eight of Swords, you're trying to figure out, okay, exactly what path, where am I stepping my next step in order to bring myself the expansion that I really want for, within a relationship. Like, what do I really want here? And then in the past, right, you were dealing with the Devil energy, bookending with the Ten of Wands. So somebody's imbalance really created the ending of a cycle for you. So you're going to be in a space, the outcome here is you're going to be in a space of needing to make a decision. Now let's look at the Three down. We have the Fool, you attempting to take on a new path. This is a moving on, Four of Swords, a moving on energy, because you realize that the relationship that you were in was not your wish fulfillment. It just was not. Okay, because you're all about justice, you want to build your life, and you know that you need to just make a decision now. So let's see what the near future indicates. But the Lover's energy, if it's a very positive energy in that it is blessed by Archangel Raphael and the luminary of the sun, which is really nice. So if, either way you're good with the Lover, whether you decide that this is not for you anymore, or whether you decide to really work at it, you're going to be blessed with it. There's an inherent blessing from Archangel Raphael with that. Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands, Four of Wands, Seven of Cups, Three of Swords. Okay, so this is in the future. Queen of Swords is about a truth coming to light. Okay, Virgo, you figuring that nonsense out the second somebody walks in the room before they even open their mouth. Yeah. Queen of Swords is a Virgo and Libra energy. So, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is about communication and truth, right? Something coming to light. And Libra is about relationship. So there's something coming to light having to do with relationship, I do have to say. I want to do the book ending first, because then we have the Three of Swords, which is the card of pain. So this can indicate a third-party situation. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't. That third sword could be something that hurt you. So it could be an irresponsible use of money that somebody did where it impacted you, somebody having a very unfair expectation of you where it created pain for you, someone throwing you under the bus, having to do with friends or family, any sense of betrayal where you feel betrayed. Again, so it doesn't have to be a third party. I always want to say that, because it is simply the card of pain. It is Saturn and Libra. Saturn is restriction, it's challenge, it's karma. Libra is relationship. Okay? So this is something coming to light and it being quite painful for you, okay? And then we have the Ace of Wands, which indicates a brand new beginning, a new passionate beginning. Very passionate, okay? Very passionate. And then we have the Four of Wands. So now the Four of Wands reverse. Four of Wands in the upright indicates a very strong foundation. Four of Wands in reverse means delay. It means not yet, it means not now, but this is we call this the honeymoon card, right? So this is a celebratory vibe having to do with connection, but this is telling me that there's something getting in the way, preventing you from being able to move forward with some connection right now. And it might be you, Virgo. It might be you trying to still nurse away, this pain. But it could certainly also be some truth coming to light, this betrayal coming to light, and you recognizing I'm just not going to have a firm foundation with this person. So it's going to resonate with some of you differently. Some of you are going to be recognizing it like that, like it just became too much, the pain, and you're all about having a new start. But at the same time, you're kind of confused because you have choices. And with the Seven of Cups, there's confusion here because you don't know. This is a Venus and Scorpio energy. Venus, obviously, in this case, it would be very associated to not only love, but how you feel about yourself in this connection. And Scorpio, being ruled by Pluto, is about transformation, right? So the thing is, you feel change. You know that there's change here going on for you in relationship, but you have no idea what's on the other side. So it's confusing. Now, the caveat about this energy is, it's in Five of the Cups, but you don't know it's in Two. So you do want to be careful, because the energy here is often that you may end up missing the obvious red flags in a situation. You want to be sure not to put rose-colored glasses on a situation because you want something to work. You do want to just be careful of that. But regardless, there is this confusion about the reality of a situation. So for some of you, okay, this truth coming to light, maybe there is a third party, whatever this pain was, you realize that you're not going to have this firm foundation, and you're realizing you have no choice but to move ahead, to move forward, because wands are our will and motivation to move forward, but you don't know what that means for you. You're not really sure, you're confused, and you're vacillating in your emotions because you still have feelings for this person. That's what the situation is going to be for some of you. For others of you, yes, this reality of this pain is coming out, but you meet somebody new. But you and that person aren't able to really forge forward and really work at this relationship, because wands can mean delay. And the delay could just be because of the lockdown. It could be because of just the weirdness of the world right now, or it could be for a whole host of other reasons, but that you guys aren't able to move forward in the moment. And you're in this space still of confusion, because I do feel like there is still another energy in your field, but you are giving it a go here, if this is resonating with you, trying to meet somebody different. So here we have, let's go back to the oracle. Always a good time to go back. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it's only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Yeah, really fitting. Because I feel like wherever the pain is happening here, somebody is really trying to make good on everything, but you're just all about the fairness. And I say that because of the Lover's energy. I say that because of and the fact that you're thinking about what's fair, what's not fair. Yeah, pretty clear message. We got 2 or 3 narratives going in there. Hopefully one of them resonated with you. Otherwise, I'm sorry this was not your reading. Let's pull some oracles now, guys, okay? Pull some oracles, see what we have. We'll pull a few of these and pull a few Island Time Wellness. Let me just bring those. Transformation. Okay. So we have transformation, and we have acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times you must accept things as they are. There's no point in trying to change that which is beyond our control, right? As I always say, once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you can't put it back in again, right? Just have to accept situations that happen. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. And then we have your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Yeah, we always have to look at cards that come out after that transformation, because that could be, because it's a love deepening, so it's often of a new relationship. It can be the transformation of a past one, but I'm wondering because of the cards we got so far. But let's see. All right. I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming. Fun flirting on a date. Yeah, under transformation. That's why I said that before. I even pulled that card. Then we have the butterfly. Relationship evolving to the next phase. Healing the inner child. Growth. That goes nicely with the transformation. I feel like something is really, feel like you're letting go of something really toxic. But at the same time, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. That's so hard, right? That's such a difficult energy to deal with. It's like, make it stop, right? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? I know this sounds really cheesy, guys, but if you try to move forward, if you try to walk ahead while looking behind you too intently, you're sure to fall and hurt yourself, right? Here, it really is about focusing on the moving ahead, the moving forward. Easier said than done, I know. Okay. Ace of Swords, the truth. 9 of Wands. 5 of Cups. So, look, I mean, Ace of Swords is this new truth coming out. 9 of Wands is knowing something came out and you still have a fire in your belly. So Mars and Gemini energy. So this idea of you finding something out and you knowing that you need to have a new path with somebody, you still have fire in your belly for them. And we have the Five of Cups. You're still very focused on the disappointment. You're very focused on the disappointment of a situation and the disillusionment. You're feeling very focused on the, and to have it under the cassette, that's exactly what that is. You know, playing things over and over in your mind. It's, you don't want to. It's not that you want this for yourself. It's just really challenging not to when there's so many emotions involved. Queen of Swords, another Swords energy. Okay, more truth. Hello. Justice, again, different spread, different deck. The Magician. All right. So Queen of Swords, yeah, I mean, this is about, you know, really some truth coming to light. You know, this is in essence what it is, again. You know, Virgo and Libra. You might be dealing with an individual who's got a very sharp tongue, where you end up having these sort of arguments because of this truth that comes out, and really having the discussion about what's actually fair. You wondering, like, what is actually really fair in all of this? The Magician is a Mercury energy, though. And I like this because this, first of all, Mercury rules you guys. Okay, cool. And Mercury is a Magician is about trying to take the different parts of something, right? It really is an alchemical card. Taking the different parts of something and trying to transform it into something new. So, you know, understand that, excuse me, why is my throat chakra closing? Somebody needs to have a conversation, and this is communication. Mercury is a quicksilver element, right? So as far as alchemy goes, Mercury is considered a transitional and transformative material, you know? So when we have the Magician, it's some sort of decision is going to be made, right? Now, the Magician could also be communication coming in. It could be via the internet, because Mercury does rule the internet, not technology, that's Uranus, but via the internet, a text message, a phone call, some sort of information coming in that's going to actually change the trajectory of your life. So now I need to pull some more cards. I'm giving you guys extra here because I'm just nosy and I want to know what the story is. Okay. Everybody else, I just pulled 3 cards, but I feel like there's more to say here. Knight of Swords. What is up with the swords here? There's going to be a conversation for certain. Ace of Coins. 3 of Cups. Listen, I feel like 2 things are true at one time. I feel like you're really trying to unknot some energetic knot. You really are, with another person. There's conflict here, though. There's some sort of truth where there's conflict. And we have the Queen of Swords, and then we have the Knight of Swords. You know, there's all of this truth being revealed. There's going to be all of this realization about the reality of a situation. We have the Ace of Coins, which when we're doing a relationship read, this means a brand new connection. Now, for some of you, I just have to say, because you're a Virgo, this could be a new job that ends up inflecting the relationship. Right? But I see this newness here, because the 3 of Cups, really, there's a new element to it, right? Because it's a small, it's 3, you know, we go Ace, 2, 3. So 2 is the decision to be in the relationship, and 3 is like kind of celebrating the beginning stages of 1. You know, it's a Mercury in Cancer. It's you guys communicating and figuring out how you're going to move forward now in love, right? Because Cancer is that metaphorical home space. Though I am feeling now that we did that, I do feel like this Magician is somebody new coming in, because that is a solid interpretation of that. And then we have the 3 of Cups energy, and you having this new beginning, but you still, now, I do want to say, this sword energy could all be internal inside of you. As you are trying to move ahead with this new person, you could be in conflict with yourself. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like you're going to work that out. And you're going to allow this new by acceptance. Acceptance is the key to inner peace, even though you may not always understand why things happen. It's time to transform. And this, when we have a Magician and then a 3 of Cups, that is a deepening of a connection, which would be the transformation card. So I do see, you know, between this I like you, you know, the butterfly, the Magician, the Ace, I see you know, unknotting one energy and really opening yourself up to another. And that is what I have for you, my Virgo friends. Yes. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please stay safe and healthy. See you next time. Bye-bye.